only 62, you know?
Yeah.
So this is a dynamic team on both ends of the floor.
Yeah.
They can score a lot of points. They've been over 100 a couple or three times this year, and they can hold teams down. I mean, if you're winning by 27 points a game, you've got some good defense going on.
Well, and the defense is all hustle. They've got they have some length on the team, but it's really just a lot of effort on the defensive side of the ball. And on the offensive side of the ball, at any point in the game, all 5 girls on the floor can shoot from beyond the arc.
Yep.
All 5 girls on the floor could bring the ball up the court. I mean, how do you stop a team that's that versatile, that's that diverse, and is able to do that much on offense?
Well, we're expecting a deep run in the national tournament. That'll be coming up starting the 12th of March. Let's turn it over to Jonathan Petty.
Wayland University and the Center Athletic Conference are committed to the true spirit of competition. That commitment is demonstrated by being affiliated with the NAIA's Champions of Character program. We ask that you join us tonight in creating a positive environment where our athletes may perform, the officials may work, and you, the fan, can enjoy tonight's game. At this time, we ask that you please stand for the invocation given tonight by Mr. Calvin Gray, a retired minister and a 1968 graduate of Wayland. Following the prayer, we ask that you remain standing for our national anthem.
Let's pray together. Father, we are just so blessed to be able to come together tonight for this occasion. Lord, these girls have worked so hard and have come so far, and it's exciting. And I thank you for the excitement that's in this room. And Father, our prayer tonight is especially for our players, for their safety, most of all, Father. But I just pray that every one of them could do their very best tonight and just help us to enjoy it. Thank you for the sportsmanship that we're going to see here as these girls compete. Father, we're just grateful that we could have fun in this arena tonight. So just bless everyone, the coaches, and us as spectators. Help us to act like we should also, Father. But we just want to glorify you because of your goodness, your grace, your mercy, most of all for Jesus Christ, our Savior. In his name I pray. Amen.
Anybody want to sing? Come on, Brad.
I hope I get this in the right key. Yeah, that's right. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
That was better anyway. At this time, let's meet the starting lineups for tonight's contest. First, for the visiting Lady Lions. Starting at forward, a 5'10 senior from Gwinnett, Georgia, number 3, Ashika Alexander. At guard, a 5'4 junior from Seattle, Washington, number 5, Grace Williams. At forward, a 5'10 senior from Madisonville, Texas, number 15, Alexia Levinston. At forward, a 5'8 senior from Peoria, Illinois, number 23, Jalen Lawson. At forward, a 6-foot senior from Chicago, number 25, Talia Edwards. The Lions are coached by Elaine Powell, assisted by Terry Palmer and Hollis Giles. And now let's welcome your Flying Queens. At guard, a 5'7 junior from Lubbock, number 10, Peyton Brown. At guard, a 5'10 sophomore from Idalou, number 23, Ashlyn Shelley. At center, a 6'2 sophomore from Amarillo, number 32, Tay Pleasant. At forward, a 6-foot junior from Claude, number 33, Gemma Cooper. And at forward, a 5'11 senior from Littlefield, number 34, Kaylee Edgemond. The Queens are coached by Alicia Ellis, assisted by Andy Ellis.
So there you have the starting lineups for both teams, and we're about ready to get this one underway as the conference championship is here. And Langston, you would say perhaps an unlikely participant in this game. And on the other side, the Flying Queens have been expected to be here all year.
Yeah, and you know, I think with Langston, you've got one of those teams that, you know, that they're probably not as bad as their seed was, and they're probably not quite as good as playing for the championship. So
yeah, Talia Edwards is jumping for Langston. Tay Pleasant jumping for the Flying Queens, and the Flying Queens get the possession. Peyton Brown to Tay, to Kaylee, out to Peyton again. Peyton goes out to the right, now goes back to the top. Tay Pleasant now in the paint for 2.
Dan, that young lady is a star in the making.
Yeah, she is. And you know what, Brad? We're not graduating any of these girls.
Yeah.
They're all going to be back.
That's right.
All right, this is Langston. Tried to go inside. Bounce pass taken away by Tay Pleasant. Peyton Brown with the ball, now back out to Tay for 2 more. She missed everything.
I think she got fouled.
Now Langston coming down quickly with the ball. This is Talia Edwards. It goes out to Ashika Alexander. She's looking for a screen from Alexia Levinston. Alexander now puts it up off of the front of the rim. Jenna Cooper gets the rebound. Nice lead bounce pass to Ashlyn Shelley. And I can't believe she wasn't fouled there.
Yeah, I can't believe they didn't call a foul. They call it out of bounds, but it looks like it's Wayland ball.
Yeah, it was out on Langston. That was just a beautiful lead pass.
It really was. Jenna
Cooper bounced to her.
She's so good at that, Dan. She's so good at getting the ball out in front on the break.
This is Tay Pleasant on the left side of the paint, driving, kicking it out to Jenna. Jenna spins in for 2. What a beautiful little spin and a little jump shot. Money.
It's going to be hard to stop that tonight for Langston.
Langston, nice little spin move of her own was Jaylyn Lawson. It was no good. The Flying Queens got the rebound. Now Ashlyn Shelley from downtown, no good. Rebound to Langston. Ashika Alexander with that rebound. And now coming down, driving into the lane, number 3, Ashika Alexander, her shot was no good, and another rebound for the Flying Queens. Jenna Cooper's shot is off the front of the rim. It goes out of bounds on Langston.
Boy, all that was set up, too, by a pass from Peyton Brown, where she passed it from the backcourt all the way on the right side of the court, all the way over to the left side in the front court. Great pass.
Jenna Cooper with the ball. Drives in. Now Tay in the paint, right in front of the basket. Looks good. Little hook shot. Little baby hook.
They don't have anybody that can defend Tay on the block, Dan,
No.
and it's going to be a long night if they keep feeding the ball into the post.
Jalen Lawson with the ball for Langston. Now, Peyton Brown. Yeah. Oh, wow. What a hustle play.
Wow. She's so quick, Dan. She jumps in front of the pass and almost controls it. It goes out of bounds, a Wayland ball.
Well, he called a foul on number 25, Talia Edwards.
There was a scrum for the ball. So
yeah, Peyton coming across the timeline with it now. 6-0 in favor of the Flying Queens. And nobody home. Wow.
Nice
Ashland got blocked there by number 15, Alexia Levinson. A beautiful block on the other end. The Langston tries a shot. It's no good. Flying Queens get another rebound. And a foul called on number 5, Grace Williams, for Langston. So Langston has 2 team fouls and no points. The Flying Queens have no team fouls and 6 points.
So there was a timeout on the floor. I didn't see who called that. Did Wayland call that timeout?
Langston called that timeout.
Yeah. I mean, it's 6-0. You got to rally the troops. Come on. You got a 6-0 run to start the game, and Wayland's missed a couple of wide open looks.
Yes,
too,
they
so
have.
It could be worse than that.
Yeah, Ashland Shelley. I mean, it looked like a boulevard when she started going to the basket. There was nobody there, and then all of a sudden, from out of nowhere, Alexia Levinson came in and blocked that shot.
Just timed her jump perfectly. Nice block.
Jenna Cooper throws the ball in to Peyton Brown after the timeout. Cooper with the ball again. Looking for a screen from Tay. Tay gets the ball on a little give and go. Her little hook shot's no good. Rebound.
But, boy, I hope people are watching this on the live stream because you just saw why she's such a special player. She's so explosive. Getting the ball out just outside of the paint and then dribbling and flying back to the opposite side of the rim. She's such an athletic, explosive player.
A foul was called on Jenna Cooper on that play. Now Langston driving down in the paint, off the glass, no good. Rebound fought for and goes out of bounds now on Langston. And another turnover, Brett.
Already starting to see on this Langston team some frustration at the inability to score in the post. This team, Wayland team, plays so hard in the post, and it's so hard to get the ball in the basket from inside the paint.
A little bit of pressure applied by Langston this time. Peyton Brown over to Ashland Shelley on the right side. Back to Peyton in the middle. Kaylee Edgman inside.
Great shot.
Little hook shot off the glass goes. It's 8-0.
And who are you going to cover down there?
Yeah.
I mean, Tay, you can't cover Tay, you can't cover Kaylee. You want to try to double team, but who are you going to double team?
Now this is Edwards. Nice little move, little hook scoop shot. Didn't go. And the Flying Queens come down with another rebound. Jenna Cooper with the ball. And she double dribbled. She double dribbled, and the turnover goes to Langston.
So a little bit uncharacteristically sloppy play here for the Flying Queens at the start of the game.
Yeah, usually they're much more efficient than this, and they're up 8-0. So that probably bodes ill for Langston. This is number 3, Ashika Alexander with the ball. Her little jumper is no good. Flying Queens with another rebound.
Yeah.
Peyton Brown with the ball now. She drives into the paint. She's fouled in the act of shooting. That'll be a 2-shot.
You could hear Coach Ellis, clapping, Andy Ellis clapping on that one because that's exactly what Wayland wants to do. Get down to the post and make number 3, Ashika Alexander, defend down there and pick up some fouls. So that's what they're trying to do. Get it into the paint and make the other team foul. So great drive and take by Peyton.
That's the second personal foul on number 5, Grace Williams, already early in this game. And as I look out on the court, she must have come off. So with 2 fouls, she came off. Peyton makes her first free throw. And she sets for her second free throw. It's no good, and Langston gets the rebound. Coming down the court with the ball, this is Oriana Shirley. Goes into, wow, that shot no good by Tamia Mobley. Langston gets the rebound. Now a deep 3 by Ashika Alexander.
Ashika Alexander's a nice player, Dan.
Yeah,
she's got some length to her. She's very athletic, and that was a really great 3-point shot.
They're applying pressure, trying to keep the Flying Queens from getting across the timeline. They make it. Jenna Cooper, a beautiful little hook off the glass.
Just so smooth, Dan. She's so smooth. Oh, great defense by Kaylee Edgman. A great
ball away. Cooper, and goes coast to coast with it.
Wow.
13-3. Now Langston with the ball, knocked away by Peyton Brown. Another good hustle play by Peyton, and we've got some substitutions coming in for the Flying Queens. Blakely Gerber came in, and Caitlin Edgman comes in. This is Ashika Alexander with the ball. She lobs it in to Tamia Mobley. Missed their shot, and Caitlin Edgman with the rebound. Now inside, pass from Peyton to Kaylee Edgman. She got the ball knocked away, and Langston comes up with it. And they're going to call a foul against, I think, Blakely Gerber. Yes. As Jalen Lawson drove.
Yeah, that's kind of
toward the basket.
Kind of an interesting foul call because it sure didn't look like there was very much contact. The contact was more underneath the basket, not out there, you know.
Shot from the left wing by Langston, no good. And Flying Queens come down with the ball. Peyton Brown with it. She kind of floats over to the right side, looking for a screen around Caitlin. Now she shoots for a 3, no good.
Hurry!
And Langston gets the rebound. 13-3 is the score. And a little spin move inside. Shot no good there by, that says Adia Rogers. Flying Queens come down with the rebound. Caitlin missed her 3. No, that's Blakely Gerber. So gone a little cold from the field in the last couple of minutes.
Still
up by 10.
The defense has just been stifling by the Flying Queens.
Now taken away, more defense. Ashlyn Shelley over to Kaylee Edgman. No good. A little bit cold. Ashika Alexander with the ball on the right wing. Pulls up for a 2. It bounces around. No. And
that's out of bounds. I think Langston's going to get this.
Yeah, Kaylee was last to touch the ball. Jalen Lawson throws the ball in for Langston. Now we've got Victoria Vickers coming in and Jalen Lawson coming out. So Vickers will inbound the ball. Inbound pass tipped by Peyton Brown, but still controlled. The shot no good. And Peyton Brown comes down the court with the ball. This is Caitlin Edgman with it. She sets for 2. It's good. No, it's 3. It's a 3
shot. What a sweet shot. It's a little dribble, jab step, and a nice pullback jumper.
This is Oriana Shirley with the ball for Langston. It goes inside now to Ashika Alexander. Her shot no good. Rebound Tay Pleasant. Comes down quickly. This is Caitlin inside to Blakely Gerber. She's right in front of the basket. Missed it. Tay Pleasant with the rebound. Her shot is good.
That's good hustle down on the block by Tay Pleasant to grab that rebound and put it back up.
18-3 with just under 2 minutes to play in the first period. Ashika Alexander with the ball for Langston. Out to Oriana Shirley. Shirley out on the right side, works her way into the paint. Little shot, no good. Rebound, Caitlin Edgman. Edgman comes across the timeline. Now from the right wing, a shot blocked out there. Blakely Gerber had an open shot, but Grace Williams closed on her real fast.
She sure did. That was a really nice defensive play.
A substitution. This is Talia Edwards came back into the game for Langston. Inside now. Oh, Blakely loses the handle on the ball, and that's going to go Langston's way. Oh, no, they called a foul against number 14. That must be Catherine McClanahan?
Adia Rogers.
Adia Rogers. Oh, for them. Yes, that's right. They changed, a couple of their players changed numbers before the game, and so they're handwritten in on my sheet, and it's easy to overlook them. This is Tay for three. No good. Rebound. Langston coming down the court now. That's a nice pass there. Adia Rogers now from the right wing. No good. Rebound, Langston underneath the basket. No good, their shot. And Tay Pleasant comes down with the ball. Kylie Ellsworth inside to Caitlin Edgman. And that's a nice little shot. That's just a muscle shot there.
She just kind of threw that one up, and it went up the top of the backboard and in.
So the score with this timeout, with 35 seconds left in the first quarter, Flying Queens has scored 20 now, and the opponents, the Langston Lady Lions, have 3.
So Tay Pleasant has 6 rebounds and 6 points already in the game. Langston is 1 of 19 from the field. 1 of 19.
1 of 19 from the field.
And that's just stifling defense by the Pioneers. It's clear that Langston wants to get the ball into the paint. They want to run. They want to get a fast pace and get the ball down the court. And the Flying Queens are just able to get back with them.
Yeah. Oriana Shirley with the ball across the timeline for Langston with 28 seconds left in the first quarter, and they're going to play for one shot. Shirley with the ball in the middle, 20 seconds now. Trying to set something up. Motion for a screen. Got it. Didn't get around it. Now she's driving. Spins. No place to go. And the shot put up by Victoria Vickers. And with the ball went out of bounds on Langston. And with 2 seconds left, the Flying Queens will throw the ball in. And there was a time's going to expire, so that little trouble getting that ball in.
The Langston is trying to play a lot of pressure, a lot of full court pressure. They were doing that all throughout the first quarter, and the reason is because they know if they have to play half court against the Flying Queens, they're not going to be able to score.
Right.
And so trying to get out in front and create some space is the only kind of the hope that they have.
Yeah.
But you can see
turnovers.
Strategy's not working, but you can tell that's what they're trying to do, though, because if you listen to the Wayland coaches, as soon as the ball comes off and Langston rebounds, they're like, hurry, get back.
Yeah.
So they know Langston wants to run, and so far the Flying Queens have been able to neutralize that. Now, here's what we got to watch for, because if Langston tries to do this the whole game, it's fine to do that in the first quarter, but try to do that against this deep team that can keep running people off the bench for 4 quarters, and the game's going to get away from you. And when it's 20-3 already, it could get ugly real fast.
Yeah, it could. So we will be entering the second quarter of play as soon as we come out of it, about 15 seconds. And we've got some first quarter stats for you as we begin play here in the second quarter, and it looks like the Flying Queens have put their starting lineup back in at the beginning of this second quarter. And it looks like Langston has, no, they don't have their starters in. They've got a couple of bench players in. That's Jalen Lawson to Ashika Alexander. Now the ball is in the hands of Talia Edwards. She's trying to get some room. Pitches it back to Jalen Lawson. Spins in the paint. That shot is no good. It's spun around the rim. They can't buy a basket.
That's 1 for 21 shooting to start this game.
Jenna tried a three from deep on the left wing.
And the Queens are 1 of 7 from 3 points.
Wow. This would be a runaway, wouldn't it? Now, there's a good bounce that Langston got for 2 points.
And they scored from the post, which they haven't been able to do in this game so far. So that was a good offensive possession.
20-5 in favor of the Flying Queens. Ashland Shelley, Peyton Brown, back to Ashland Shelley. Inside, Caitlin Edgman mishandled the ball, and it goes back over to the Lady Lions. This is Ashika Alexander with the ball. Goes around the screen. Jenna Cooper right there, but that's a nice move that Alexander made for the basket.
And Alexander's clearly the best player on the Lions, on the Langston team.
Peyton Brown with the ball. Now Kaylee Edgman. Back to Peyton. She's just above the free throw line. Now it goes back into Caitlin. She's getting a little frustrated that the pass aren't coming right to her. In the meantime, she tossed it off to Jenna Cooper right under the basket, and nobody boxed her out.
That's a great cut by Jenna Cooper, though. She's so smart and sees the court so well. A great cut by her to get down there and get open.
Now a three made by number 23. That's Jalen Lawson. That was a nice shot from outside. It's 22-10. So Langston is trying to close this margin. Jenna Cooper, nobody anywhere near her, and she lost up a three.
And look, that's what's missing from this Wayland team so far is they've been missing a lot of shots from beyond the arc. If they get hot back there, it's going to get nasty.
Yep. Another little short shot missed by Talia Edwards, and a rebound, Flying Queens. Ashland Shelley with the ball.
Yeah. And Caitlin Edgman got called for a moving screen on that one, and it was definitely a good call. See, she tried to roll off the screen and ended up actually boxing her out with her body, and it was definitely a moving screen.
So Langston throws the ball in after that turnover. This is Oriana Shirley with the ball. Ashland Shelley. Now the nice pass inside, but the shot missed. Got their own rebound, and Talia Edwards missed a couple of them down there from underneath the basket because the Flying Queens are just all over them. On the other end, Tay Pleasant missed a shot. Jenna Cooper gets the rebound. Tay inside.
Great pass. That was a great pass. What great court vision by Tay Pleasant.
Oriana Shirley with the ball. Sends it back to Ashika Alexander for her own three. No good. Peyton Brown with the rebound. Ashland Shelley now. Peyton Brown working up toward the arc. Tay Pleasant still outside the arc. Peyton Brown. Screen now by Kaylee. Sets enough of a screen for Peyton to get off a three. She missed it. Ball goes out of bounds, and it's out on the Flying Queens.
I think what you see when you go up 27-10 in the first quarter is that you can get a little lazy on the offensive side of the ball, and they needed to work a little harder on that possession.
A shot by Langston's Ashika Alexander is no good. Flying Queens get the ball, and then they turn the ball over. Langston has it again. This is Jalen Lawson. She goes inside, And a foul is going to be called against Ashlyn Shelley. That's Ashlyn's first, and it's the Flying Queens' second this quarter. The inbounds pass goes to the left wing to Ashika Alexander, and her three was no good. Tay Pleasant comes down with the rebound.
It rolled all the way around the rim, too, Dan.
Yeah.
They're just really struggling
hard
to
luck.
shoot.
Once again, the pass intended for Kaylee Edgman is just not really accurate, and she can't get the ball in a good position.
Well, she's
having to fight to get to the ball.
I actually think that was Edgman's fault because she
it?
had defense. She had defense over her right shoulder. If she turns to her left where the ball was passed, she could have caught the ball and had a clear path to the goal, but I think she didn't know which shoulder the defender was on.
Oriana Shirley with the ball, 27-10. Nice little shot from inside, no good, and a foul. Foul called on Jenna Cooper. That's her second, and she comes off, and Blakely Gerber comes on, and it sends Ashika Alexander to the line. That's 4 team fouls for the Flying Queens. The 1-and-1 front end is no good, and the Flying Queens get the rebound. Peyton Brown, with pressure, comes down the court with the ball, gets across the timeline to Ashlyn Shelley, now out to Caitlin Edgman. Caitlin looking for a screen, didn't get it, goes outside, shot blocked. Ashlyn Shelley, shot blocked, picked up in there, though. Picked up by Blakely Gerber, and then she lost the handle on it. Jalen Lawson comes across the timeline for the Lady Lions, and this ball mishandled, and the Flying Queens get the turnover.
Peyton Brown's like a cobra.
Tay Pleasant missed a shot from right under the basket. Rebound, Langston. Oriana Shirley with the ball. Now off to Ashika Alexander at the top of the key. She traveled with the ball.
Took a little stutter step before she took off. Like she was trying to make up her mind where she wanted to go, and just shuffled her feet a little right before she took off.
So Ashlyn Shelley throws the ball in to Caitlin Edgman. Caitlin across the timeline. That could have been called a travel right there.
Her foot did slide.
Caitlin out to Blakely Gerber for 3. Just a little long. Rebound, Tay Pleasant. Tay decides nobody's going to guard me. I'm going to turn around and jump one in.
And, her game, she's made some layups, but she's also made a couple of mid-range jumpers. And Dan, she's got 12 rebounds already in the game.
Word.
And in addition to 12 rebounds, she got 8 points. So she's close to a double-double.
Already.
We're still in the second period.
Yeah.
So
it's not even halftime yet.
Hey, and I want to say this. I actually think that Langston this is a really good game to play before the NAI tournament. I don't know if you're noticing, but Langston's got some really long defenders out on the perimeter. And I want to point out specifically Alexia Levinston, who's already blocked a couple of threes out on the perimeter. And when they get into the NAI tournament, they're going to play some teams that have some length in the perimeter and can really make you work to take those three-point shots.
Right.
And, the last couple of games, they haven't had that deal with that.
No.
But this game, there are some good, long defenders out there in the perimeter, and that's a good look for them to get before they go to the NAI tournament.
Yeah, it is. Langston inbounds the ball after the timeout. This is Oriana Shirley. She comes over to the left side, trying to get inside, can't. Goes outside to Talia Edwards. Edwards got her step, and she stepped and stepped and stepped, and that's one too many steps.
Well, I got to tell you, I feel like that's happened multiple times during the game, and the refs, it's like finally they're like, okay, we've got to start calling this now. So
inbound, had a little trouble inbounding that ball.
Good
finally
defense.
get it in. Full court defense being applied by Langston. Shot by Peyton Brown off the mark. Peyton gets her own rebound. Now, nice move there by Caitlin Edgman. Her shot is no good. Langston gets the rebound. One-on-one, fast break. That's a nice shot in there by number 15, Alexia Levinson. Peyton Brown across quickly with the ball, and she gets fouled when she shot. And she is fouled by Oriana Shirley. That's her first personal of the night. And it is Langston's first team foul.
And let's give up the props to Shirley, because she's playing defense a lot against the point guard, and she's at the point of the pressure that they're, and she's really been hustling and playing some hard basketball out here tonight.
Peyton's first free throw was good, and the second one was good. So it's 31-14 with 3 minutes left in the half. This is Ashika Alexander with the ball. She gets into the middle. Her shot is no good. Now underneath the glass, Talia Edwards goes up and gets fouled.
And it's on Tay Pleasant.
Tay Pleasant. That's her first. The 5th team foul for the Flying Queens, and that puts Langston in the bonus. So with 2 minutes and 51 seconds left, first free throw by Edwards is no good. Still 31-14. Edwards at the line for her second, bounces the ball 4 times, sets, shoots, and it's no good. Flying Queens with the rebound, coming down quickly. Here's a 3 attempt by Kaylee Rendon, and she gets fouled by number 25. That's Talia Edwards. That's her second.
These Langston defenders are really trying to jump out on those shooters at the perimeter, and they've done a good job of blocking a couple of these shots, but every now and then that aggressiveness will lead you to foul somebody on the perimeter, which leads to free throw attempts. I got to say this too: those shots were shots that were falling for the Flying Queens in the last game that we watched. They're 2 of 11 from 3-point right now, 18.2%. That is not characteristic of the Flying Queens.
Right.
Some of that has to do with the defense that's being played on the perimeter, but some of it just cold shooting tonight for both teams.
Rendon missed 1, made 1, and made 1. So 2 out of 3 go down on that 3-shot foul. And it's 33-14 with 2 minutes and 45 seconds left in the first half. This is Victoria Vickers coming down the court with the ball. She gives it up to Adia Rogers, and inside, Adia Rogers gets fouled in there.
That was also on Tay Pleasant. That's her second foul in 3 possessions. So you've got to keep her out of foul trouble for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So it puts Adia Rogers at the line. Her first one is good. She gets congratulations from all the other players. Well, the other Langston players gave her low fives. Her second free throw is good, so she made both of them.
That's good.
33-16 with 2:34 left.
You know, now that you said that, Dan, I would love to see like the other team like step up and give you a high five when you made a free throw. That'd be interesting.
Or give you one when you don't, when you miss it.
Yeah. Either way, that would be interesting.
Full court pressure being applied, and the Flying Queens give it up. That's what Langston's going to have to do. This is Ashika Alexander. Gives it up to Adia Rogers. Her shot is no good. With 2 seconds left, they got the ball down the court and then lost the handle on it under the basket. So now with 2 seconds, what? No, we got to be nearer the end of that, aren't we? Is it 2 minutes?
2 minutes and 9 seconds.
I thought we were close to the end of the half. 2 minutes left. Inbound pass goes to Rendon. Rendon slips, gets control of herself, passes back to Peyton Brown. Peyton tries to get a screen. Caitlin Edgman once again turned the ball over, and Langston comes down the court with it. Ashika Alexander. Now that's a travel.
She just does it every time.
Jalen Lawson.
She does a little jab step every time, and they let it go a couple of times early in the first quarter, but they're not anymore.
You know, they're going to call the Euro step in college, aren't they? This is Rendon across the court. Nice little shot there by Blakely Gerber for two. 35-16. 1:28 left in the first half. Ashika Alexander with the ball. Into Victoria Vickers. Now inside, they left Adia Rogers alone for a second and then covered her up really well. Flying Queens with the rebound. Caitlin Edgman missed her shot. She's getting a little bit frustrated, isn't she?
Yeah, and it's because Langston is really playing energetic defense and really not making it easy on the Flying Queens whenever they get the ball into the paint. They're also playing very physical too, which that doesn't help either.
That's the first foul on Jolie Donaldson, who is in the game for the Flying Queens, and it puts Victoria Vickers at the line. She makes her first one. And missed her second. So with the score 35-17 with just over 1 minute left in the first half, Gerber throws the ball in to Peyton Brown. Now across the court to Rendon. Rendon stops at the top of the key, missed the shot. Rebound Langston. Langston's a little more aggressive on the boards, a little more effective on the boards this quarter. Down on the other end. Yeah, that's a charge.
And Peyton Brown just hustled into position and just really, really solid defense and hustle by her.
They called that foul against Ashika Alexander, evidently. I thought that was Jalen Lawson that was guarding her, but evidently not. Peyton Brown with the ball for the Flying Queens. 34 seconds left in the first half. Peyton pulls up for a three. No good. Rebound Langston. Now this pass too far out front of the fast-breaking Adia Rogers, and the Flying Queens are going to play for one shot with 15 seconds left. Peyton Brown with the ball just over the half-court line. Now she walks in. Peyton now with a shot off the backboard, no good.
Don't foul.
And Langston a little bit lethargic after that rebound and trying to get a shot off at the buzzer.
At the end of both quarters, they're behind by 15 points in the first quarter, and they slow play the last 20 seconds of the first quarter.
Yeah.
And then they get the rebound underneath the basket, and instead of looking and trying to get the ball up for a score to end the quarter, they're holding the ball underneath the basket. So a little bit strange as far as decision-making there.
So the refs are talking to the Langston coach. He had a question about something that they're trying to explain to him. He apologized, said he was wrong, and they were right, which is probably a good thing to do. The half ends with the Flying Queens up 35-17. Brad, I've got some stats for us here.
Yeah, that's a really good half of basketball by the Flying Queens defensively, and a pretty good half overall shooting in the paint.
Look at the field goal percentage from the field.
Yeah.
Langston is shooting. Is that 5% that I see?
Yeah, they're
1 of 20 from the field.
So refresh your browser, because I think that's the first quarter. They're shooting right now 16.7% from the field. Wayland is shooting 35%. And so look, under 20%, you hold them to under 20% shooting in the first half.
Yeah.
And Wayland the Flying Queens had a very poor shooting performance for them.
They did
in the first half and in the second quarter in particular. So you got to, and from 3-point, that's where it's most glaring.
Right.
2 of 12 in the first half. That is not normal for this team.
Not at all.
Too many good shooters for Langston to expect that would happen again in the second half.
Right.
That's gonna flip around here in the second half, and some of those shots are gonna start falling.
They surely will.
I'll say this too, that Langston is expending a lot of energy on defense. They're pressing a whole lot. And I think one of the reasons that they're struggling with their shot so much is because of the energy that they're having to expend on the defensive side of the ball. And so that's one of the kind of trade-offs you give if you're going to press.
Right.
One of the trade-offs is that you're going to struggle sometimes with your shot because as you're pressing, you're expending a lot of energy and you're got a lot of adrenaline pumping, and so sometimes you miss some shots that you'd normally make.
Yeah. Langston is shooting 40% from 3, but they've only tried 5 shots. So,
right.
You make 2 of 5, and you're shooting 40%.
Yeah.
Whereas the Flying Queens are 2 of 12, and they're shooting, 16.7. So, the percentages kind of are a little bit misleading there if you just go by percentages.
Well, and I'll tell you this, that, Langston, clearly their game is they want to get the ball into the paint. And if you look at the shots that are being made from the perimeter, one of them was Ashika Alexander, who made a 3 early in the game, one of their 2 threes. The guards they're passing up open shots at the guard position.
Right.
The guards are trying to dribble into the paint, and they don't have, it doesn't appear to me, at least from the first half of basketball, they don't have very many guards that are capable of sinking three-point shots with consistency. And that's allowed Wayland to kind of sag back into the paint and make it a lot more difficult for this offense to hum.
Right. Well, I think I pointed out in my pregame that Langston as a team only shoot 32% from 3 and 42% from the field.
Yeah.
So it's not a great shooting team anyway.
Right. And when you're playing against a team that you got to cover the way they're covering right now, and you already struggle sometimes with the shot, it's really easy to turn in a half like the one that they just turned in. So that's not going to cut it. Behind 18 points at halftime, and if you have any hope of getting into this game, you're going to have to get some easy buckets. You're going to have to get some turnovers. You're going to get some layups. If you're pressing, and some of those shots that they've been missing are going to have to start falling.
Yeah, they've tried some fast breaks, but Flying Queens are just getting back too quickly.
Yeah. So many athletes on this Flying Queen team, and it's just really hard to beat them with the break. It really is. They also do a good job taking care of the ball. They have really experienced guards, and really any one of the 5 ladies on the court at any given time can bring the ball up. So what do? You cover Peyton Brown if you want to. She just gives it up to somebody else, and they get the ball down the court. So it is tough to maneuver on them. It really is.
Yeah, see the turnovers in the first half. Langston has 11 turnovers. The Flying Queens have 7. That's really more than the Flying Queens usually have.
It is, and it's a little bit of sloppy play by the Queens. If you're a coach too, Dan, this is a big challenge for a coach, and a great coach like Alicia Ellis, lives for these kinds of challenges. But the challenge right now, as she's in there at halftime, is to get your team to come out here and play like the Flying Queens in the second half.
Yeah.
Because, in the second quarter, you could see, they got up big, and they got into the second quarter and kind of hit cruise control. They weren't working as hard for baskets, underneath the basket. They weren't cutting to the basket the way that they were doing in the first quarter, the way we've seen them do in other games. And so just not as much efficient execution on the offensive side of the ball. And one of the challenges for coaches in a game like this is how do we keep our players focused? How do we keep them engaged? How do we keep them pressing? And that's going to be a challenge to say enough. The other thing that I'm looking for is I'm looking for Kaylee Edgman. We've now 3 games now in this conference tournament and 2.5 games, and we really haven't seen the Kaylee Edgman that we've been watching all season.
No, we haven't.
So she's cold. She's not shooting great in this tournament, and I know teams are keying on her a little bit, and they've had difficulty at times getting the ball to her in a position where she could do something with it, but she's not shooting the ball like she normally does, and she has not also been able to get some of those open looks, and so just seeing a little bit of a different energy level, frankly, from her than we've seen before. So they're going to need her. So,
yeah, they are.
As good as Tay Pleasant has been, and I think she's been remarkable, and to me is the story of the last part of this season is how well she's playing. But as good as she's been and as good as Jenna Cooper has been, if they are going to win a national championship, they're going to need Kaylee Edgman. She's just too good.
Yeah.
She's just too good.
Yeah. She takes up a lot of room under the basket, and both height and width, and just hard to defend her.
She can hit.
Very athletic.
She can hit from anywhere.
Yes, she can.
She can make shots from anywhere on the floor. And when she's on, that's why she's such a tough matchup. That's why she's SAC Player of the Year, because she can shoot from anywhere. She can beat you. She can post you up. She can face up at mid-range, and she can also sink threes. And she can do all of those with great efficiency and skill. And so she's a really tough player to defend because of all that. And so what that means, when you have her and Jenna and Tay all on the floor who can do those, who can score at all three levels of the offense,
right,
then that just creates so much room.
Yeah.
Because those girls, how do you can't crowd the paint against them, because any one of those girls can just step out and sink a three on you.
Right.
So it does, when she is on and when she's playing well, they're just impossible to defend.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, at this time during the broadcast, we want to tell you about this week in WBU athletics, when we bring you up to date with everything that's happened across all the sports programs here at Wayland. This may take 20 minutes to do. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of sports going on at Wayland.
We only have 7 minutes. So
I know.
We're going to have to crush it.
Let's get rolling. The men's team, the Pioneer basketball team, lost out in the first round of the Sooner Athletic Conference Tournament last Wednesday, falling here at the Hutchinson Center to John Brown University by 11, 66-55. Coach Ty Housen's team now awaits word on whether or not they'll earn an at-large bid to the NAIA National Tournament, with those selections being announced at 7 p.m. this coming Thursday. Of course, the women already have a bid. Right. They've already got their invitation. They will be in the NAIA National Tournament.
The Pioneer football team improved its season record to 2-2. Its conference marked to 1-1 with a 10-0 shutout at Bryan College. Last Saturday at Greg Sherwood Memorial Bulldog Stadium. It was just the second shutout since the program was restarted in 2012. Freshman linebacker Andrew Villa of Plainview was named SAC Defensive Player of the Week. He was outstanding in the game. Jeffrey Lucido of Childress, SAC Special Teams Player of the Week. Christian Vaughn rushed for 95 yards and under 20 carries. So a really great effort by the Pioneers. They're set to host Texas Wesleyan on Saturday, but that game was canceled for COVID-19 issues. And so they're looking for an opponent on March 13th. So anybody out there listening who has a football team, we need a game.
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
Call Rick Cooper. I'm gonna announce his cell phone number over the air in a second. Just give Rick Cooper a call, and he'll schedule a game.
Hey, the Pioneer baseball team is fresh off of winning 3 out of 4 last weekend to Adams State,
Division II team,
a D2 team in the NCAA, improving their record to 9-6. So Wayland travels to Abilene this Tuesday to face McMurray in a scheduled 9-inning game beginning at 2. So this weekend's conference opening series at Texas Wesleyan was canceled due to COVID-19, but the Pioneers managed to schedule a 4-game series against the University of the Southwest. This is going to be a home and away on Saturday and Sunday. So they're going to play a doubleheader here Saturday, and then they'll go to Hobbs to play the last 2 games of that 4-game series, starting at 2 on Sunday. The game here on Saturday starts at 4. The doubleheader starts at 4 on Saturday here at Wilder Field.
Coach Jim Giacomazzi and the Wayland volleyball team, they're on quite a roll. They've won 9 straight matches. Most recently, last weekend at Langston Central Christian. The 9-game win streak's the longest since the 2016 season, and the Pioneers are 5 away from matching a 14-game run from 2014.
Awesome.
The team is back on the road this weekend, taking on USAO on Friday night, then Mid-America Christian on Saturday.
Hey, Wayland's men and women's soccer teams had mixed results in their conference openers on the road last week. The women defeated OPSU 3-2, and the men tied the Aggies 1-1. After all that play, they tied 1-1.
A double overtime, right? Wasn't it?
Yes,
I think
it was. Well, let's see. Yes. Then Saturday in Oklahoma City, both teams lost to OCU. So it was the first loss of the still young season for the women's team, now 3-1. Coach Robert Sajimba's men's squad is now 5-3-1. Both squads are going to be in action on Wednesday evening, a day after tomorrow, hosting John Brown University of Arkansas. Those games are going to be played down at Lubbock Cooper High School beginning at 4 p.m. due to slow-growing grass at Hilliard Field.
All right. The men's golf team last week took first place at the NAIA TPC San Antonio Shootout, besting a field of 6 teams, including number 5 Morningside, Iowa, number 11 Texas Wesleyan, and number 24 Grandview, Iowa.
Wow.
Senior Sebastian Tremolo and San Antonio Mini placed second and third to repeat their finishes from a year ago after they initially tied for the title.
Right.
Today, Sebastian was named Sooner Athletic Conference Men's Golfer of the Week.
Yep.
And next for the team is the Texas Intercollegiate in Fort Worth on March 8th and 9th. They'll be joined by the Pioneer women's golf team, coached by Flying Queens assistant Andy Ellis.
Yeah, that's right. The Pioneer men's wrestling team, after finishing 4th at the Sooner Athletic Conference Kansas Collegiate Athletic Conference Championships back on February 12th in McPherson, qualified 4 athletes for the NAIA National Championships in wrestling, in men's wrestling. Jonathan Ortegon, Alex Pena, and Seth Dixon are all automatic qualifiers, while Gabe Gray is an alternate for the event to be held this Friday and Saturday in Park City, Kansas. Jonathan Ortegon, a freshman from Amarillo, was named SAC Newcomer of the Year. Meanwhile, the third-ranked WBU women's wrestling team, third-ranked in the nation, Brad, they, having captured the Sooner Athletic Conference Championship title in dominating fashion, will send a squad of 12 to the Nationals on March 12th and 13th in Jamestown, North Dakota. That contingent will include conference individual weight class winners Nina Pham, Asia Ray, Desiree Zavala, and Olivia Ricci. Nina was named the SAC's Wrestler of the Year. Emily Alderman, the Newcomer of the Year, and Kyler Stevens, the Coach of the Year.
And Coach Stevens just took over for Aaron Meister like in December.
Yeah.
And so he hasn't even coached the whole season, and he's winning Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
So great job by him.
Absolutely.
NAIA Indoor Track and Field National Championships will be held Wednesday through Saturday in Yankton, South Dakota. Representing Wayland on the women's side will be senior Argiana Bolton in the 60 and the 200, senior Koshawn Campbell in the 600, senior Cheyenne Hill Johnson in the 60 and 200, and senior Rahima Westfall in the 60 and 200. She ranked second in the nation with a time of 7.43 seconds in the 60, third in the nation in the 200 with a time of 24.52.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I told you it was busy here on the campus of Wayland Baptist University. We've got about 35 seconds before the second half begins play, with the Flying Queens on top, 35-17 over the Langston Lady Lions. I'm Dan Ziegler, the voice of WBU Athletics, doing the play-by-play. Brad Miles is here with me, providing the color analysis for today's game.
I wonder why they call it color analysis.
I
feel like every time somebody says that, I'm supposed to say, fuchsia is a shade of pink.
I love fuchsia.
Lavender's kind of like purple.
Yeah.
That's my color analysis for the day.
Yeah, well, thank you for that, I think. Okay, so you heard the buzzer in the background signaling the beginning of the third period, and the Flying Queens throw the ball in to start the third period of play. Peyton Brown with the ball to Jenna Cooper, who on the left. Back to Peyton Brown. She wanted to go to Ashley Shelley. She wasn't open. Wants to still go to Ashley. Now goes to Jenna Cooper. Now in the middle, Tay Pleasant at the top of the key gives it up to Peyton Brown. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Peyton drives, gives it up to Jenna Cooper. Now it goes inside to Kaylee Edgeman.
And that's a shot that she makes.
She normally makes those.
It was open, it was there, and she just didn't get it to go down.
Ashika Alexander throws it inside. It's batted away. Flying Queens come up with a rebound. And Kaylee Edgeman tried to save it by throwing it back, hopefully into the lap of one of the Langston players, and then it go out of bounds. But she missed everybody. It went out of bounds, and Langston will throw it in. This is Alexia Levinston throws it in. to Jalen Lawson. Lawson back to Levinson. Now it goes into Ashika Alexander. She drives in, makes a little bank shot.
And that's the shot that she wants. She likes to make plays off the dribble.
Now here's Katie again. She didn't miss that one.
No, she didn't. And great work by the Flying Queens to work the ball down the court quickly and get it into her with single coverage in the post.
Right. And no dribbles.
No dribbles.
They passed.
That's right.
Passed until they made the shot. This is Langston with the ball at the free throw line now moving in, and it goes out of bounds, and it is out of bounds on the Flying Queens. No, on Langston. So the Flying Queens will inbound the ball. 37-19 is the score with 8:28 left in the third quarter. And Peyton Brown's feet slipped.
Yeah, no, was it Peyton or was it number 23?
No, it was Peyton. She was just before she made that pass across the court. Her
just
feet
a little
slipped.
stutter step.
As a matter of fact, both feet slipped on the court. So pick one, you know. Jalen Lawson with the ball. She goes inside and she travels.
She jumped up, and the defense is so good she ended up coming down with the ball, which is a travel.
Right. Peyton Brown gets across the timeline. Still full court pressure. Pass inside to Jenna Cooper. She muscles her way into 2 points. 39-19 with 8 minutes left in the third period. This is Lawson. Her shot is no good from just at the top of the key. Peyton Brown comes across the timeline with the ball. Gives it up to Jenna Cooper. Inside to Katie Edgman. Katie backs her way in. Tries to bank it off the glass. It's no good. She's getting a little frustrated too. And quickly down the court. And there's an instance where the Flying Queens didn't get back.
They did not. They did not hustle back on defense at all. And everybody was just kind of half walking down there. And that's how you give up. It's quick too.
And Jenna Cooper stepped on the end line as she was getting ready to drive the baseline, and out of bounds, and then the turnover goes to Langston. 39-21 with 7:13 left. And Langston Lady Lions throw the ball in. This is Jalen Lawson with the ball. Comes across the timeline. And this pass intended for Talia Edwards, and they were on a different page. And it went out the end line. Flying Queens inbound the ball with 7:03 left. Ashlyn Shelley with the ball. She goes down the court to a wide open Kaylee Edgman, and she makes it. A three.
And that, you know, that's just, if she can get untracked on that, you know, that's those kinds of shots are the ones she needs to start putting down.
Ashika Alexander goes across the court with the ball. A three put up and made by Grace Williams, a beautiful shot. And now all the way down the court, the Flying Queens, Kaylee Edgman gets another feed from Jenna Cooper deep in the post.
And then, look, every single one of those long passes down the court, the Flying Queen has been standing in the exact same spot.
Yeah.
Watch them. They run, they get the rebound, and the defenders run to the exact same spot every time so that these girls know where to throw the ball.
Yeah.
Such smart basketball.
There it is again. Same play, but Kaylee couldn't handle the ball. You can probably hear Andy Ellis.
Yeah.
He's near to me.
That was Kaylee Edgman was wide open on the post, and the pass went up, but Tay Pleasant was charging down the court and thought that it was like an alley-oop kind of pass to her. And so they run into each other, and the ball goes out of bounds.
So Langston almost rolls the ball across the timeline.
Yeah.
Oriana Shirley.
They're going to need every one of those seconds if they hope to get back in the game. It's a 19-point game.
43-24 with 5:53 left in the third quarter. Now driving, a nice drive, baseline drive by Oriana Shirley.
Great hustle.
And they intercept the inbound pass.
And that's all Shirley. I mean, look, she makes the shot and then hustles back on defense and deflects the inbound pass. And then they had a wide open shot. They missed two shots down underneath the basket.
They inbound the ball with 17 seconds left on the shot clock. Now it's on the floor, and it's a tie ball. And the possession arrow goes to Langston. So Langston will throw the ball in. And the officials are talking about something.
The rebounding edge is only 35 to 32, and it was a bigger gap at the end of the first half. The reason is, though, Langston now has 12 offensive rebounds to Wayland's 8 in the game so far. And so they are really hustling the offensive boards.
This is Oriana Shirley throwing the ball in. She throws it in very deep. And underneath the basket, Ashika Alexander missed her shot. Rebound comes out to Alexia Levinson, and now they've got control of the ball again. This is Ashika Alexander with it at the top of the key. She's looking for somebody to throw to. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Inside, Adia Rogers went inside and got fouled. That's probably the only thing that kept her from scoring, too, on that one, was the foul.
Dan, let me tell you another way that you can tell this is a well-coached, disciplined basketball team. Every time an offensive player runs by them on defense, every time one gets by them, they're reaching around and trying to pop that ball out on the other side. It happens every time with every player on the court. That's how you can tell. This team has been coached well, and they're very disciplined. And they just do those little things that not all teams do, and that's why they're so good.
Adia Rogers makes both free throws. It's 43 to 28. Full court pressure applied by Langston. And they take away another ball.
That was
a lazy pass, Tay Pleasant. And they convert it for 2 more points. Full court pressure again. Peyton Brown's in trouble. Ball gets tipped away. Another easy 2 points. And we're going to have to put a stop to this.
Yeah.
We're not dealing with that full court pressure at all.
No, and that's a big difference. We said during the halftime break that if Langston wanted to get back in the game, they were going to have to create pressure off of the press, and they're going to have to get some turnovers and some easy buckets. That's exactly what they've done. And now we're looking at an 11-point game, and it was 17 at the end of the first half.
So the timeout called by the Flying Queens, a well-timed timeout because they're going to have to get their house in order.
And, the Queens still struggling from three-point. They're 2 of 12 from three-point right now and only shooting 39% from the field for the game. Langston's only shooting 21, so it's not like there's a huge, gap there. Neither team is really shooting the ball the way they'd like to shoot.
Leading scorer for the Flying Queens, by my account here, Kaylee Edgeman has 12, Jenna Cooper has 11, Tay Pleasant has 8. For Langston, they have one player in double figures. It's Ashika Alexander with 13.
Well, and she is their offense, And I don't know if you noticed this, but she likes to get the ball coming across the paint, driving with her left hand. And so if the Flying Queens can cut that path off to the basket, then, her post-up game's not that great. She wants to dribble with her left hand and make the ball on the left-hand side of the goal.
Flying Queens get the ball across the timeline. Jenna Cooper with a bank shot off the glass, missed, and Langston gets the rebound.
That was a good look. She just couldn't put it down.
Oriana Shirley with the ball. She goes inside to Ashika Alexander. She has to give it up. A great block by Tay Pleasant. Langston comes up with the ball. A little floater by Oriana Shirley is no good. And Rendon gets trapped on the sideline. Ball gets Jenna Cooper finally comes up. Nobody's got this ball yet. Now finally, Oriana Shirley gets the ball. Oh, my goodness. That shot goes, and they're going to call a foul.
And once again, look, that is really all about energy once you get the ball on offense. She came out from that and then was immediately double teamed, and nobody really ran over to help, and so that's what allowed her to get pinned on the sideline.
So Rendon's going to come out, and Ashlyn Shelley's going to go in.
But the other thing that you want to do, too, is, when she starts peeling out of the pile underneath there and dribbling, if you're going to go toward the sideline, you need to get your head on the swivel and see where the defense is, because you got to get rid of that ball quickly so you don't get pinned down there.
Peyton Brown evidently had I don't know if she had a little medical thing going on here or not, but they stopped play. She came off the court and was tended to. I didn't get a chance to look over there quickly enough, whether it was an equipment thing, like a shoe thing, or whether she was tended to by the trainer. At any rate, the free throw by Oriana Shirley for the three-point play is missed. Flying Queens get the rebound. Peyton Brown for two, missed it. Langston with the rebound. This is a 9-point game all of a sudden.
And that defies logic right now. I did not think we would be here.
Oriana Shirley with the ball, trying to get it inside. Gives it up outside. Now driving and traveling is Adia Rogers.
Now, you got to give some credit to this Langston team, because they went in at halftime and they came out hustling
with a plan
and working for the ball, and they've done a great job on defense in the second half.
Full court pressure being applied. Now a reach-in foul by Grace Williams. That's been happening all night.
It has.
It got called there.
Yeah, and I think that's the danger that you run into here running this full court press, is that you get some folks in foul trouble.
That's 3 on Grace Williams. Meanwhile, Peyton Brown drives into the paint, missed her shot. It goes out of bounds on the Flying Queens, and Langston get the ball. Still 9-point lead. Alexia Levinson throws the ball in to Oriana Shirley. Shirley backs out, calling a play. This is Alexander with the ball. No place to go. Back out to Shirley. Shirley drives in and makes a nice shot.
Well, she's playing great, and that's a 7-point game. Shirley has really turned it on in the second half, offensively and defensively.
Once again, full court pressure. Going to have to get the ball across the timeline. Going to have to get across the timeline. Here's Tay Pleasant down here all by herself. Peyton Brown to Kaylee Edmond. Nobody on her.
That's it. And good patience by Wayland to get the ball across and then find the open player.
45-36 in favor of the Flying Queens. Oriana Shirley with the ball. She gives it up to Alexia Levinson for 3, no good. Langston gets the rebound.
That's 15 offensive rebounds for Langston.
Wow.
15.
Ashika Alexander with the ball for Langston. Across the court to Oriana Shirley. She tries to go in with the ball. It's on the floor. It's a jump ball, and the Flying Queens have the possession arrow.
That was great defense by Peyton Brown. Good senior leadership from her. She got a hand on that ball and then went down on the floor and tied it up.
So Jenna Cooper will throw the ball in for the Flying Queens. 2:02 left in the third period. A very active third period. Full court pressure. Ball gets knocked away from Peyton Brown, and it's out on Langston. And Jenna Cooper will throw it in again. Full court pressure once again. Ashlyn Shelley with the ball. Spins around. Goes back to the middle of the court. Gets across the timeline. Gives it up to Jenna Cooper. Jenna back to Peyton. Peyton to Ashlyn Shelley. Back to Peyton. Peyton still outside the arc of Jenna Cooper. Around the screen by Kaylee Edgman. Jenna drives, misses her little shot.
And I think they did. They got Tay Pleasant for over the back, and that's going to be her third foul. She was trying to tap that rebound out, and they just got her for being over the back.
So 45-36 is the score. And Langston inbounds the ball. Oriana Shirley brings it across the timeline.
And she's been the catalyst in this second half for Langston, for sure.
Has. This is Ashika Alexander. She decides to take a three and made it. 45-39. Peyton Brown with the ball. Out to the left. Now inside, Jenna Cooper spins, misses her shot. Tay Pleasant gets the rebound, misses her shot from underneath the basket. And Langston comes away with it.
They're getting the shots, Dan. They're just not falling.
Not falling.
Just cold shooting right now for the Queens.
44 seconds left in the third quarter. Shirley with the ball, gives it up now, and Talia Edwards doesn't miss that shot. 45-41.
She was missing them in the first half.
Yeah. Jenna Cooper with the ball. Flying Queens need to get the ball across the timeline. Gonna have to do it. They do it.
Barely.
Ashlyn Shelley drives the lane. Little shot's good.
Good.
Ashlyn took it coast to coast. 8 seconds left in the quarter. Langston drives into the paint and get their own rebound and make it with time running out in the quarter.
That was a great play by Ashika Alexander there to end the half, and a great hustle play, a great shot. Credit to this Langston basketball team and to the coaching staff, because they came out in the third quarter and they played really tough, Dan. They played really tough. And I'm going to tell you the difference right now. 16 offensive rebounds. 16. You cannot allow the other team to get 16 offensive rebounds on you. And so 16 offensive rebounds for Langston, 9 for Wayland. And so there's a 7-rebound edge there. And actually right now, Wayland is being out-rebounded. And we talked at the first of the game, this is a team that averages over 50 rebounds a game, and they're getting out-rebounded right now.
Yeah, they rank in the top 5 in the nation in rebounds, total rebounds, and they're getting soundly outplayed by Langston. You can kind of see how this Langston team has come from seeded 7th in the tournament and come out to beat everybody.
They
beat number 2 and number 3.
They are not the 7th best team in this conference, Dan.
No,
they're not at all.
No.
I mean, we've seen the conference.
Yeah.
And that is not the 7th best team in this conference. They're athletic. They hustle. If they could shoot from the perimeter with consistency, they would be a very dangerous basketball team.
Yeah. So, score at the end of the third quarter, 47-43 in favor of the Flying Queens. It's a 4-point game going into the final quarter of this game.
I can't even believe you just said that.
Yeah.
So a couple of quick updates. Tay Pleasant has 14 rebounds in the game right now. Akeisha Alexander has 10 rebounds in the game for Langston, and so some really good work being done on the boards right now by both teams.
Langston inbounds the ball to start the fourth period. This is Alexander with the ball. Kicks it out to Shirley. Back to Alexander. Now inside. And that shot missed by Talia Edwards inside. And the Flying Queens get a rebound.
A little bit of a defensive change there. They double-teamed the post that time. And that's what caused that shot to go off.
Kaylee Edgman with the ball to sister Kylie. Out to Peyton Brown. Back to Kaylee underneath. Little hook shot, no good. Kaylee gets her own rebound. And in for 2.
Now that's what you got to have. Now the Queens need to put the pedal down and play really hard-nosed, disciplined ball the rest of the way.
Oriana Shirley with the ball now for Langston as they get across the timeline. Ashika Alexander now drives in, loses a handle on the ball. Flying Queens come up with it. Jenna Cooper comes up with it, gives it up to Caitlin Edgman. Now out to Peyton Brown. She gets across the timeline with it. Peyton traveled. Her foot slipped.
She just couldn't make up her mind what she wanted to do with the ball. You know, she had a couple of players that she could have passed to, and she just a moment's hesitation, and that resulted in the travel.
Now taken away by Caitlin Edgman inside. A lead pass to sister Kaylee, and she makes the layup.
Good hustle. Dan, the Flying Queens have 16 turnovers in this game. Very uncharacteristic for them.
Very.
They forced 18 on Langston, but 16 turnovers is too high for this team. They don't usually do that.
This is Grace Williams with the ball. Pass batted away, and it goes out of bounds. Good hustle by the Flying Queens.
And I wish people could have seen that. Those of you listening on the radio, you missed a virtuoso defensive performance by Peyton Brown right there. What a great stab of the ball.
And Kaylee slipped. Her plant foot slipped as she got the ball.
Well, every time they're getting the ball, both teams in the post, they're getting bodied up. And it's easy for when you're getting bodied up for your pivot foot to move like that.
Oriana Shirley with the ball. She's over on the left side. Comes back around to the middle now. Looking to pass the ball. This is Edwards. Goes inside. Little floater goes in.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty, but it counts for two.
Yeah. Ball across the timeline. Caitlin Edgman with the ball. Back to Peyton Brown. To Kaylee Edgman. To Jenna Cooper. Jenna posts up for three. It's no good. And what did they call
I have
him?
no idea. I have no idea what the call is.
At any rate, Langston is inbounding the ball.
Yeah, it's like it was a travel or a double dribble or something like that.
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either. She just caught the ball and shot.
Oriana Shirley for Langston with the ball. 7:17 left in the game. Now inside, nobody boxed out. Talia Edwards.
That's Akeisha Alexander attacking, like I said, from the left side. And when she attacked from the left side, the defense went to her, and she just dished it underneath her teammate.
Jenna Cooper with the ball for the Flying Queens. She goes inside to Kaylee.
Great
Kaylee,
pass.
another layup.
Great pass. Jenna Cooper is so good at those passes.
Now inside, a little shot tried in there by Grace Williams. No good. Flying Queens with the rebound. Jenna Cooper. And there's a foul away from the ball called on Talia Edwards.
Yeah.
That's her third personal foul.
There's a lot of physical play going on right now. And now it's time to start watching for some players that might be getting into foul trouble right now.
Yeah. Jenna Cooper to throw the ball in. Gets batted back in her face. Back out of bounds. Good hustle play there by Alexia Levinson to bat that ball away. And Jenna will try to get inbound the ball again. She does to Peyton Brown. Peyton spins, shoots, no good. Rebound Levinson. Langston comes away with it. Oriana Shirley. 6:22 left in the game. Reaching in.
Man.
Now they left Edwards alone again.
Yeah,
Did not box her out.
The help defense was not there. She rolled over to take away the dribble, and then nobody was underneath to help.
Kaylee to sister Caitlin. It's good and a foul.
Yeah.
And one.
And that was a nice feed, but a great finish by Caitlin Edgman on that play. She had a defender on her, and she just took the ball up and made the shot.
Jalen Lawson commits her first personal foul of the night. Sends Caitlin Edgman to the line. Shooting one for the three-point play.
Nice.
It goes
off the front of the rim and still kind of rolled its way in.
56-49 in favor of the Flying Queens. Oriana Shirley with the ball. Out to Lawson. Now a foul called against Jenna Cooper.
That is the gentlest foul I may have ever seen in my life. So
that's 3 on Jenna. And Langston throws the ball in to Edwards. Edwards tries to go inside, got against the big body of Caitlin Edgman, and she kept it, gives it up to Sister, and Sister makes a layup.
Yeah. The Edgman to Edgman connection is working tonight.
Yeah, it is.
And it's so nice when you take Kay Pleasant off the court to be able to come in with Caitlin Edgman.
Yeah.
You know.
And
travel.
Was it a travel?
Yeah, I think they called it
I
travel.
didn't know if they called it a charge or not. So the Flying Queens get to inbound the ball from underneath their own basket, so they'll be going the length of the court. Jenna Cooper gets the inbound. Full court pressure being applied. Peyton Brown with the ball now. She gets across the timeline with it. Goes into Kaylee Edgman, and the ball gets knocked out of bounds by Langston with 17 seconds on the shot clock. Flying Queens will throw this one in. Jenna Cooper is going to throw it in. Inbounding to... inbound to Caitlin. Out to Ashlyn Shelley. Back to Jenna Cooper. She turns for a little jumper that's good. And it's 60-49 now.
Go, Jenna, stop!
Back to a double-digit lead, and now the Flying Queens need to play defense.
This is Edwards. Missed the shot. Inside, the rebound went to Ashika Alexander. She went up for another shot, and ball went out of bounds. And it's out of bounds on the Flying Queens. So Langston will be inbounding the ball. And Alexander inbounds it to Shirley. Back inside now. Now out, and a nice shot attempt there. That was a good play by Jalen Lawson to get that shot up. It rolled around, didn't go in, and was knocked out of bounds by the Flying Queens.
Kaylee Edgman had that rebound and just couldn't control it.
Be ready, be ready.
Oh, nobody boxed out Jalen Lawson. She made a little reverse layup for two.
Didn't close off the baseline.
Kaylee, and Kaylee gets the ball knocked away from her.
Dan, that's a great hustle play by Alexander for Langston to run the length of the court and knock the ball away from Kaylee Edgman so she couldn't score.
Yeah,
good
she was
hustle
wide
play.
open, and Alexander came from nowhere. Caitlin Edgman with the ball. Around the screen by Jenna Cooper. Still with the ball. She stopped.
Offensive foul.
Offensive foul called against Caitlin.
I don't know what that was. She could have called a push off, maybe. That's the only thing I could see that you could have called in that situation.
Yeah, I think that's what they called.
There's been some really physical play, though, and it's just weird that was a foul at that moment. But
Oriana Shirley with the ball. Now it goes into Ashika Alexander. She's going to post up and makes a two.
She's a really good player, Dan.
Yep.
Ashika Alexander is the real deal.
And that was cool. Jenna Cooper just waited for the defense to run by her and came around with the ball and converted on the other end. There's a three attempt, and it's good.
That's Ashika Alexander. She's feeling it now, Dan. You do not want for her to start going off right here, for sure.
Ashlyn Shelley with the ball. Now a long pass to Caitlin, to Kaylee. It goes in.
That's Caitlin Edgman. She comes back for the pass and then just touch pass down to her sister. Great basketball.
64-56 in favor of the Flying Queens with 3:10 left in the game. Oriana Shirley with the ball. Gets knocked away, but Langston recovers. Ashika Alexander. She's going to post up for three, and she made it.
They've got to stop her. They have got to defend her at the perimeter.
Wow.
And, in the first half, she was not hitting those shots, but here in the second half, she is. Dan, 18 offensive rebounds for Langston. 18.
Wow.
And really, right now, that is why they are in this game.
Yeah,
that's why they have been able to crash the offensive boards, and they've been able to take advantage of those opportunities to score.
One stat that we don't have here at our fingertips is second chance points.
Yeah. But there's been a bunch of them.
There has.
For Langston, there's been a bunch of those points.
So the score, it's a 5-point game. 64-59 now, with just under 3 minutes left in this game, and this is anybody's game right now.
Yeah, the other big step for the Queens is 18 turnovers. You know, they do not turn the ball over like that on a normal basis. And so credit Langston's defense here in the second half.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Flying Queens are in the top 10. They didn't get the ball in 5 seconds. Turnover. Langston gets the ball right underneath the Flying Queens basket. They inbound it. Goes around. Ashika Alexander sets up, misses.
That was another
travel.
It's a travel and a turnover, but that was another offensive rebound.
Yeah.
You know?
Jenna Cooper trying to get the ball in. What did they call there? I was away from the ball. So they called a foul against Grace Williams. That's going to be her fourth, as it is.
Yeah.
Her fourth foul on the away from the ball. Timeout, Flying Queens. So 64-59, a 5-point game with 2:47 left in the game.
And I'll tell you what, Dan, this is a really, really good test for the Queens before they head into the national tournament.
Yeah.
The thing that I've really been impressed with Langston is they're very long and pretty athletic. Like they're quick up and down the court. And Ashika Alexander is a legit ball player. She's very good. And so playing this kind of a deep team with this kind of defensive energy, it prepares you really well. This is what they're going to see at every level of the NAIA tournament. And so that's really good preparation for them. And so if you come out of this game with uncharacteristically sloppy, not nearly as good field goal shooting percentage as they've had in the past, if they come out of this game with a win, then you can say, look, we played maybe our worst game, and we still were able to find a way to win.
Right. We're hoping that's going to be the outcome.
And Langston has played probably their best game of the year.
No doubt. So coming out of this timeout, Flying Queens will be inbounding the ball, which in the last couple of times has been a problem for them. Jenna Cooper will be inbounding the ball.
Kaylee Edgman has 24 points, Dan, in the game so far.
Caitlin gets the ball on the inbound. She's trying to come across it. She's not as comfortable dribbling the ball. And there's a foul called on Ashika Alexander. A little too aggressive in her defense against Edgman.
But she's been playing that way all night.
Yes, she has.
So, it's tough for these refs because how often do you call that? It's just a really tough job for them. Yeah.
Another 5-second violation. Will not get the ball inbounded.
And I thought that was going to be a foul on number 15. Alexia Levin, who was draped all over the Flying Queen she was defending.
Yep. So Langston with the ball, behind by only 6. This is that girl, Alexander, with the ball. She drives in, misses her shot. Rebound, though.
Another offensive rebound.
Alexia Levinston gets the rebound.
And no one boxed her out. She attacks the front of the rim, and no one boxed her out.
Kaylee.
That's not good.
And Kaylee went up with a shot. Alexia Levinston was in that collision.
It looked like she was on the ground. She fell, and then Kaylee
tried the shot and
stepped on her, fell on her. Yeah.
So we've got trainers coming out from the Langston bench, and they will tend to Alexia Levinston.
Well, and you hope she's all right. She's played very well.
Yes, she has.
So far in this game for Langston, she doesn't have any points, Dan, but she's got 8 rebounds. She's got 3 steals. She's got a couple of blocks. So she's really played well on the defensive end of the floor for Langston. So you just don't want to see her miss any time,
right.
For sure. It looked like she may have the breath knocked out of her.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah, I think she's going to be okay. I think she's got the breath knocked out of her.
They're getting her up off of the floor now. She was in a seated position for a little while.
She's been playing really good ball for him. Hey, I was going to tell you, too, before, Ashika Anderson has 30 points so far in the game.
Oh, my word.
So she's really come on here in the second half.
Ashika Alexander.
Yeah.
So it looks like Kaylee Edgman's going to be at the line, shooting 2, with the Flying Queens up by 3, 64-61. First free throw, no good. These are really important.
Yeah.
With 2 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, and a 3-point lead. It's very important to get these down.
Kaylee shooting her second, up, and it's no good. And Langston gets the rebound. Here they come, down 3. Oriana Shirley with the ball. Gets it out to Jalen Lawson. Her pass almost thrown out of bounds, but it's saved down there by Talia Edwards. Now inside, Edwards with the shot. Missed it. Flying Queens with a rebound. Ashlyn Shelley across the timeline. She's going to drive to the paint. Now she kicks it out to Jenna Cooper. Jenna comes back out with it. Cannot get rid of her defender. Gets knocked away. Wow. Reached in and converted the point.
And that's a 1-point game.
It's a 1-point game. Peyton down. A 2-on-1 fast break. And Kaylee makes the 2. Assisted by her sister, Caitlin. 66-63. Now inside, Ashika Alexander missed her shot. Peyton Brown gets the rebound for the Flying Queens. 48 seconds left in the game, and it's 3 points separating these two teams. Peyton now outside the arc, looking for help. Inside to Jenna. Oh, she's wide open in there. Missed her shot. Caitlin gets the rebound, and a foul called inside on number 4, Oriana Shirley.
And what happened to Jenna there, she was too wide open. Like she didn't realize that there was a defender on her back. And so when she got the ball, she didn't just turn and go to the hoop. She thought there was somebody behind her.
So Caitlin at the line for very important free throws. And first one goes. That's a 4-point game with 31 seconds left. Second free throw. Up and in. Now it's a 5-point game.
Big free throws from the freshman, Dan. Big free throws. That's not playing like a freshman at all.
That's
not feeling the pressure. She just steps up and sinks them both.
Clutch free throws. 68-63 with 31 seconds left in the game. 5-point difference. You know, anything can happen in 31 seconds in a basketball.
Sure can. Now, Tay Pleasant just checked back into the game. That's good news. She's been on the bench in foul trouble.
Yeah.
She's got 3 fouls, and so they kind of held her back. And they haven't, you know, Caitlin Edgman's played very well in her absence. But once again, you know, turnovers and offensive rebounds given up by the Flying Queens. You know, they've had some critically timed turnovers.
Yes, they did.
Here in the second half, and 20 offensive rebounds. So this is the breakdown. 20 offensive rebounds, 27 defensive rebounds. Like, I mean, you almost never see a stat line like that, Dan. You almost never see a stat line where you have almost as many offensive rebounds as you do defensive rebounds.
Yep.
So that's a great, and that's just effort and energy on those offensive boards. That's what's led them to this point.
Flying Queens being out-rebounded 47-46.
Yeah, and that's unusual too, right? They're on pace to get close to their average, but they've just given up so many rebounds to Langston.
Yeah.
And it also a lot of missed shots. It's been a lot of missed shots.
So coming out of this timeout, Langston will be inbounding the ball. Grace Williams inbounds it to Jalen Lawson. Lawson with the ball, top of the key, goes to the right, tries a little hook shot, doesn't go. Rebound, Tay Pleasant, and she gets fouled.
That was a big rebound, Dan.
Yes,
Huge
it was.
Rebound by Tay Pleasant, and I want to say that's her 15th rebound of the game.
Yeah.
So big performance from her on the boards, and she's been sitting for most of the fourth quarter.
Yeah. So she's going to be at the line, shooting 2, with the Flying Queens up by 5, 20 seconds
and
left
this is
in the
where
game.
This is where that 7 for 7 in the last game.
In the last game.
This is where you wanted to do that again.
If she can remember
that.
First one up and good. No doubt about it.
Nerves of steel.
Second free throw coming up. Flying Queens up by 6. Second one is up and good.
Yeah, those were huge.
Yep.
Those were huge.
That will just about do it, I think.
19 seconds, 7-point lead.
7-point lead with 19 seconds left.
Your only chance is to sink a couple of threes, get a turnover and sink a couple of threes.
Yeah.
And this is not a great three-point shooting team.
No.
That's not their strength.
No. So, wow, what a game. Who expected this?
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, I'm really impressed with this Langston team. They hustle. They play hard all the time, and they've got some athletes on this team. And really, the Queens have struggled with their length. They're just so tall, guarding on the perimeter, and the Queens have struggled to get those three-point shots off. And the Queens, when they're humming offensively, they're making those threes.
Yeah. Langston has pressured the Queens the entire game.
Yeah.
Not always full court pressure,
right.
But every time this whole game that the Queens have thrown the ball in, there's been a Langston player nearby.
Yeah, they've never picked them up at half court in the whole game. The Queens, when's the last time you heard this? The Queens have made 2 threes in this game. In the game.
Wow.
Like, when's the last time you heard that? I mean, it's a team that they can make 20 threes in a game. Easy.
Yeah. So Langston will be inbounding the ball with 19 seconds left. They get it in to Alexander. She drives in. No good. Jenna Cooper with the rebound. That's going to do it. They're going to try to foul her. They finally do. They finally do with just over 8.5 seconds left in the game.
Big rebound by Jenna Cooper. That was just a hustle rebound. And to keep fighting for that and to bring it down, that was a big rebound.
She's going to be shooting 2 with Flying Queens up by 7. 8.6 seconds left in the game. Bounce the ball 3 times, sets. It's good. That should put the icing on it right there. 71-63.
The Queens are a really good free throw shooting team.
They are very good free throw.
And they're really good actually in the fourth quarter. If you look, they do tend to make these pressure threes.
Missed the second. 7 seconds left.
That was my fault. I shouldn't have said anything about free throw shooting.
And time expires, and the game is over. My goodness.
That was a hard-fought game, man.
Basketball game.
A hard-fought game. And give credit to this Langston team, number 7 seed in the conference, and they just come out here and scrapped and fought and were able to stay in this game.
Yeah.
So that's a heck of a performance.
Yeah, it was. These Langston players, they really played some good basketball.
They did. In the second half especially. That first quarter was awful.
Oh, yeah, we were up. Wayland was up 13-3.
Yeah, at one point. Yeah. And so just an awful first quarter. And to have a first quarter that's that bad, right, and then to fight and claw, be 17 points down at halftime.
Yeah.
To fight and claw back and cut it to just single digits, that's a great performance.
Yeah, it was. So what we're doing here now is they're giving away the Sooner Athletic Conference runner-up trophy and the Champions Trophy. Let me turn you over to Jonathan Petty. Okay, I'm not able to pick that feed up, but these are tournament player awards being given out. Ashika Alexander gets 1.
Yeah. And she's a very good player.
Yes, she is. Tay Pleasant.
Yeah. And Tay Pleasant definitely deserves that award. She's had a great tournament.
She has. MVP, Kaylee Edgman. MVP of the tournament.
And, you know, and I guarantee you, if she looks back on what she did in this tournament, she's going to say, that was not up to my standard.
Yeah.
And she still won the MVP, so that's impressive.
And there's the championship trophy being given to all the Flying Queens. Handshakes all around, lifting the trophy now in the air. And pictures being taken all around. So, wow, Brad, that was a lot more of a nail biter than I thought it was going to be.
It sure was, and you know, you look at what Langston was able to do, and it's really Ashika Alexander who makes their team go 30 points, 11 rebounds.
Wow,
in the game, and so she just really she had 2 block shots, she had 2 assists. And so just a really great performance from her and a couple of other really good defensive performances. You know, we talked about Alexia Levinson with 3 steals in the game, and then Jalen Lawson with a couple of blocks and a couple of steals. So a really good performance. And if they could find some more offense, if that Langston team could find some more folks that could shoot the ball, that would be great. And you're pointing it out right now. Langston outscored the Flying Queens 26-12 in the third quarter.
Yeah.
And that was all hustle and defense that created that.
It was.
So some really good play, outstanding play on from the Flying Queens. 3 players in double figures. Tay had 10 points. Jenna Cooper, 14 points, and Kaylee Edgman, 26 points.
26 points.
Tay Pleasant, 16 rebounds, a double-double again.
A double-double.
That's her 3rd double-double. All 3 games in the tournament she had a double-double. And, you know, that's impressive, you know.
Yeah.
And she has really been coming on at the end of this year, and so that's good news for the Flying Queens as they head into the national tournament. Peyton Brown had 5 steals, and Jenna Cooper had 5 steals. So another really good effort on defense, too, by the Flying Queens.
Yeah.
The Flying Queens held Langston to a 33% shooting from the field. And now remember, though, in the first half, it was 17%.
Yeah.
You know, so Langston came out and shot very well. In the second half, they shot 6 of 13, though, from 3, which they didn't take very many threes, but they made almost half of them. So 46% from 3. And for the Flying Queens, an uncharacteristically poor shooting performance from 3 points. So
yeah.
they shot 15%, 2 of 13 from 3, and so that's certainly something that they're going to want to rectify. We talked about it all game long, though. The difference that I saw in the game for Langston that allowed them to get back was 20 offensive rebounds, 28 defensive rebounds. And those 20 offensive rebounds really did sway. That's what contributed to that big third quarter run that Langston took. And so,
that and the full court pressure they applied.
That's it. Yeah, the turnovers. You know, Wayland ended up the game with I'm trying to find the turnovers. 21 turnovers. Both teams had 21 turnovers. So a very physical, very in a lot of ways sloppy game.
Yeah.
And Wayland doesn't play anywhere near as well as they can play, but they still are able to come away with a victory and a championship.
Yeah.
So, but you know, going into the tournament, what you take away from this game is, I mean, there is going to be an Ashika Alexander at the national tournament.
Oh yeah. Probably several.
How do you get her out of her comfort zone? How do you defend her in a way that makes her take shots she's not comfortable making?
Right.
And you remember she had 2 big threes as well in the third quarter that contributed as well too. And then the other takeaway from this game is just, these coaches preach it and preach it and preach it. I know they do, but boxing out on the defensive boards, you can't allow the other team to get that many easy offensive boards.
Right.
So and normally that's something the Flying Queens do excellent. They're very good at boxing out. They're very good at making sure teams will get those second chance points. But in this game, the Langston was able to attack the front of the rim, and they were able to get a lot of those second chance points.
Well, the Flying Queens are cutting down the nets as souvenirs for to keep for now and forevermore, I suppose.
Yeah.
They are on their way to the NAIA National Tournament, which begins March 12th. So, about 11 days from now, they'll be playing in the national tournament. I'm trying to remember, because I don't have it at my fingertips, where that tournament is going to be played. And let me see if I can come up with it. Sioux City, Iowa. The opening round is to be announced where it's going to be, but the national championships will be in Sioux City. So they have designated about 7 campuses around the nation as host campuses for the opening round.
Oh, okay.
So it's not going to be here, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We're not going to have an opening round game here, which I think is a travesty.
Yeah.
It's the number 2 ranked team in the nation. We
Right.
ought to host an opening round game.
Yeah.
But we're not, and so that's the way that goes. Stay tuned to WBUathletics.com to find out where that game is going to be. It will be on March 12th and 13th, so it could be either day, depending on what's going on at that particular campus. So 12th and 13th are the opening rounds, and then they go the 18th through the 23rd to play the national championship tournament in Sioux City. So I don't know anything else to do but go back to the house.
Yeah, I think you get the win, you take the win, and go home and do some resting, and get ready to press for a national tournament, a national championship.
Yep. The Flying Queens already had their invitation to the national tournament before they played this game, so they knew they were going to be there no matter what. And I don't know if that maybe contributed a little bit to their lack of zeal in this tournament.
Yeah, I think they were flat. I think they came out in this game, even though they jumped out to such a huge first quarter lead. They were flat.
Yep.
And in that third quarter, they came out after halftime. They were up by 17 points going into the half. Came out in the third quarter, and they were kind of coasting. And boy, Langston, it was too good of a team for you to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So now, of course, the energy and the effort and the edge, will pick up as you get into the national tournament. But it's a good learning lesson for these Flying Queens.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what number is next to your name. You don't go out and give your full effort every bit of the game, and any team at this tournament can beat you.
That's right. And we almost saw that tonight.
Yeah.
That almost any team in this tournament can beat you, as the 7th seeded team just very nearly came away with a win in this one.
Well, and I'd like to know how they ended up with the 7th seed, so, because that did not look at all. I mean, we watched a couple other teams play. Langston was clearly better than the other teams that the Flying Queens have played in this tournament.
Well, they were 4-6 in the conference.
Yeah. Well, but in this weird season, you've got players missing because of COVID. You've got injury concerns. You've got all these other things. I think it's really possible that this team really hasn't been able to play together like a lot of teams.
Right.
Haven't been able to really play together until right at the end of the season. And so that's a great team. They've got a great future ahead of them. A lot of good players, and so that was a really good test for the Queens going into the tournament.
It was. All right. Well, we're going to get out of here. I'm Dan Ziegler, the voice of WBU Athletics. I did the play-by-play. Brad Miles helped me with the color for this game, and this will be the last basketball game here this year. We're going to move on to some other sports. We've got soccer that we're streaming Wednesday, and we've got baseball Saturday that we're streaming. So we may be through with basketball, but we're not